Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's episode, which I have no idea what we're going to talk about because Walter didn't like my original ideas. But anyways, I hope you can see us and hear us okay. Let me do a little test here. Hello, Yes, you can. Okay, so that's good. All right, so let's see who's joining us because I know a bunch of people are at Stephanie and Shannon's retreat today, which is still going on. How dare they? Uh, but we'll talk about that actually. It's a good retreat. So we're going to talk a little bit about that shortly. But in the meantime, let's say hello to Melissa and to Irish Sail Lady 1. Good evening. Been watching your videos, but this is my first live. Okay, great. Irish Sail Lady, I'm glad you could make it. Charlotte's here. Dara's here. Suzanne. Katie Crafts. Judy. Barb. Russ is here. Russ slipped out. Or Russ, are you doing the two thing? Watching us and in the retreat as well. It's been done before.
Russ completed. Did you see you completed for the 4 blocks of Stephanie's quilt plus the borders?
Yeah, I know. It was gorgeous. You certainly are fast sewer, for God's sake. Yeah, that was really nice. Where did I leave off here? Donna's here. Hi, Donna. Elsa. It's a deep freeze here in Edmonton, minus 34, minus 44 with wind chill. You can have it, Elsa. It's not like that here for us. For us, it's minus 5, and it's sunny and clear.
Well, I think that's just coming.
Yeah, that's just happened because the rest of the day was kind of dull, but and we don't really have much snow. We have a little, but not much. Let's see. Colleen's here. Hi, Colleen and Diana. From 12 degrees in Texas. Well, in Texas, I guess that would be considered cold. And I imagine that's Fahrenheit. Heather's here, and Candace, Pamela. And Colleen says PEI is just minus 5, but damp and windy. Yeah, not unlike here. Well, right now, though, it looks real sunny out. So as we said.
Yeah, I don't know how windy. It was really windy last night.
Yeah, I know. I heard it. Karen's here. Faith is here. Deb is here. That's Mozilla. Janet from Cold, Texas. Cheryl Hogan is here. And let's see. The only reason Russ says he finished Stephanie's pattern is because I started it a little earlier due to a death in my printer. So I couldn't work on Shannon's. Okay. Death by printer. Yeah. Colleen says, Elsa, I wish I could share. I guess she means the weather. Patsy's here. Wild Rose Treasures is VA, Virginia. I think it is. Hello.
Texas is colder than here.
Oh, yeah? Oh, great.
It's minus 5 is 23.
Wow.
So we're at 23 degrees Fahrenheit.
And they're at 12 Fahrenheit. Yeah. Whoa, that's unusual. So Wild Rose says, hello, I'm subbed and a long-time worker. This is the first time I've been able to watch you live. It's windy and chilly in Virginia. So welcome, Wild Rose. Glad you're able to catch us live. Okay, so everybody, as we said, we just came away from an all-day virtual retreat that was being run by Stephanie Stitches and Shannon of Slay Arts. And a great day. A lot of people there. And we learned how to do foundation paper piecing with Shannon because, you know, Shannon, I'm sure most of you are familiar with Shannon of Slay Arts. She is a very good foundation paper piecer. And I will admit that I am not fond of foundation paper piecing. I have done it in the past, but not extensively. But Shannon had it well organized. She had a great project for this. What are you giggling at?
No, I did. I was in the class too. Of course, I had to get up early, and
which killed him.
And I had trouble sleeping last night, so that didn't help. Anyway, and then I did the foundation paper piecing as well. It's the first time, and I think I made every mistake possible.
Well, it is foundation paper piecing can be very confusing unless you do it a lot because you're doing in reverse things. It's not, well, Shannon said it, it's not really natural way that we piece things. So, and if you're somebody like me who's geometrically challenged, I sewed one piece, one section together wrong 3 times in a row.
I did the same thing 3 times in a row. I pick it out, and then I'd go and sew it back together again, and realize after I sewed it back together and I had done it exactly.
Yeah, I know. That's what I did. I mean, I got to have my microphone off because I was swearing down here, a blue streak of it all. Finally got it worked out, but I don't know why. It was not a complicated little part either. But I don't know. My eyes saw it one way, but my brain went a different way. But managed to get through it. But anyways, Shannon is a very good teacher. It was very clear, and it was her own pattern. First time she has written a foundation paper piecing pattern. She was a little nervous about it all, you know, because she wanted everything to go well. Well, I don't think she needs to be nervous anymore. It came off brilliantly. And then Stephanie, that was in the morning. We did that. In the afternoon, we worked on Stephanie's project. Stephanie had a new quilt design, a new block design, and I really love it. And I'm going to show you what both of these things look like that I made. Let me get them up here on the screen so you can see what I'm talking.
Steve was a little more advanced than I was.
Yeah, well, I am. But you won't. Well, you won't let me help you.
Wow.
So let's just see. Okay, this is Shannon's paper piece block. You made 4 of them. I got them done, and I'll let you in on a secret why I got them done is because I already had one of Stephanie's blocks, which you'll see here in a minute, already done, because Stephanie asked me to kind of read through her pattern in advance to see if there was any editorial changes that needed to be made, any editing. So I already had the pattern, so I figured I would try her pattern out to see if there was anything that would make it any clearer. And I pretty much knew there wouldn't be, because I've done Stephanie's patterns before, and they are always so very clearly written. But before I show you Stephanie's, again, looking at this that Shannon put together, it's a cool block. And will I make more of them? Not with foundation paper piecing. I'm sorry, it was brilliant in the whole bit, but I do not like doing foundation paper piecing. It has nothing to do with Shannon, nothing to do with her pattern. I find it somewhat tedious. And again, I get things screwed up too rarely. It gives me a headache. It really does. I find it also slow. I don't find it any faster. It does give you accuracy on very complicated. Like this was a relatively simple design because she designed it for a beginner kind of thing. I mean, you can get some very elaborate designs that are difficult to do, you know, in traditional patchwork kind of a thing. And you can get good accuracy. So it's great for that kind of thing. But for me, nope, don't like it. Now, I do like the design that she has, and I don't know if she said it's sort of, I think, based on sort of a disappearing, or no, what's that one called? She mentioned it, card play, or
yeah, something
like that. I have heard of that pattern. I have seen that pattern before. But I could do this one again, and I could do it without doing it as foundation paper piecing. And she actually said that as well. That you could. But of course, the whole point was we were learning how to do foundation paper piecing. So anyways, it's cute. It's nice. I will layer it. I will throw it on Lucy and quilt it at some point in time. It makes a nice little table topper kind of thing, just like that. But I don't think I'm going to add anything more to it. Now the other one, no, let's see here. So this is Stephanie's block. I really love this block. And you know, the thing is, and Stephanie will tell you this, when she designs a quilt pattern, she designs one that look like they're very complicated, but they're really not. They're pretty like easy. And they're very stunning. I always find her patterns really stunning. So this one lends itself to all kinds of possibilities and color schemes.
Yeah, considering that I don't do quilting very much or haven't done much or whatever, I was able to pretty much follow her instructions along without
Well, let's see yours.
And where I ended up getting behind, I was able to read her instructions as well at the same time so that I could catch up and stuff.
Yeah, and the one thing about Stephanie's way of writing patterns is she keeps her instructions very much to the point. There isn't a lot of extra verbiage in them, which you will find in some commercial
Plus,
patterns.
her pictures are really good.
Yes, her diagrams and everything are very clear. She's a really good pattern writer. I love doing. I've made several of her quilts, and I love them. If you've never tried a Stephanie Stitches one, you should. But let's just see what people are seeing. Then you can show
Did you show that one on the downs at the bottom? I don't know if any people saw it at the bottom. We were seeing it at the top. Did everybody see patterns?
Yeah, they must have.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they saw it.
All right.
Okay, just before you show yours, let me just catch up on the chat here.
Yeah, okay, I see it. It's caught up there.
Am I caught up? Okay, hi. Everybody's a hi. The pattern is called Card Trick, Colleen says. That's what it was, yeah. Oh, Stephanie is here. Stephanie, aren't you running a retreat?
She wants to make sure that we're not saying anything nasty.
Oh, she's spying on us. Okay. Cheryl says, FPP, I keep trying and still can't get it. Well, you should have been at the retreat today because Shannon's really good at teaching it.
Yeah, I figured it out even though I made like 3,000 mistakes.
Yeah. Judy said she enjoyed both patterns. I prefer Stephanie's block better. Well, again, because if you are more comfortable with traditional patchwork, yes, like I am, too. I loved Shannon's pattern for it, and I'm glad that I joined the retreat because I learned something. I learned that I will not be doing foundation paper piecing very often, but it's good. It's nice to have that as one of your techniques, in your toolbox, so to speak. And nothing against Shannon with it. It's just me. So show your blocks, Walter.
Okay, which one should we go first?
We'll show Shannon's first.
Okay, I'll show the paper piece one first. This one. This is what I did. I didn't put it together in a group like Steve did, but that's what I came up with. I do have a couple of misalignments.
Yeah, but those will be hidden in the seam allowance because they're just little slivers. There's nothing there to worry about.
I'm happy. I made a lot of mistakes putting this together because I was challenged as to which way the fabrics had to go. And but once I got it figured out, and I finally got a couple of them, it was the points that I was having problems with. Once I got going at it, I got used to the way the paper the fabric had to lay on the paper. So there's
the back. Now you have to pull all the papers out.
Yeah,
maybe.
So, but yeah, actually, it worked out really good. I liked the result of it. So, and I'll try it again. I can't say that don't like it, but see, I'm not really a quilter, so
yet.
Yes.
You've been
so then I did Stephanie's pattern, and actually her instructions are very good. I had no problem at all following it. So this is what I came up with. So I was happy with that.
Yeah. Now I do want to point. No, I won't.
What?
No, there's.
If you look at yours isn't exactly.
Mine's perfect.
In the middle. No, it isn't.
Mine's perfect. Mine is perfect, just like myself. Can't take it, can you? When somebody else might find a mistake in yours. Yeah, all right. You can dish it out, but you can't take it.
We'll see how you do with a shirt.
I'm not making one. That's not true. I kind of keep thinking about trying, but I don't know. I think I'd get very frustrated. Deb says looks great, Walter. Charlotte likes it too. Julie says it's wonderful, Walter. Nobody would look at that and think you were a beginner at quilting. And Patsy likes the dark background. Colleen thinks it's your FPP is stunning. and everybody's loving yours. Yeah, both patterns are beautiful, Charlotte. Um, I don't think she does. Stephanie might be able to answer that, Patsy. Patsy's asking, does Shannon have the FPP block available to buy? I don't know. You could probably drop her an email or a comment in on her channel and ask her that. Stacy Baker's here. Says great blocks, Walter. And Barb says you're turning into a quilter. Yeah, Marilyn says that is a big block. It does look complicated. It does.
Actually, it isn't.
But it's not. And that's the beauty of it. You know, like you could show it to people and go, oh, I slaved over this one. It was so difficult. Oh, Stephanie says Shannon doesn't have it yet for sale, but she will. So, yeah. So there you can get that if you're interested. Now, the other thing that I have worked on this week, and I'm just going to pull it up here. Let me get that there. And that. Okay, so I started this about a week ago, and it was just basically because I wanted to use up some charm packs, and I just did have square triangles, and I came up with this. I was calling it, because the block pattern was originally looked like a leaf. But as I got spinning the blocks around, it transformed into what you see in front of you now. So really, it's not so much leafy, it's kind of starry, it's kind of pointy. So if you saw Chatty on Friday, I showed this, and I'm looking for a name for it. So if you've got a suggestion for a name, I'm going to compile all the names, and then I'm going to choose a name from it from what people suggest. I've had quite a few suggestions so far, but we'll be picking that out next Chatty next Friday. Now, one thing that you didn't see, I don't think on, maybe did on Chatty on Friday. May have had that done. Yeah, I think I may have had it done. I added an extra border. Originally, I just did the multicolored border that goes all the way around it. And I thought, no, it needed something else. It needed just a little bit more. So I put the yellow border around that, and I like it a little better. It's not a huge quilt. It's a throw, basically. A lap quilt kind of thing. I never know. Are lap quilts and throws the same thing, or is a lap smaller than a throw, or whatever? I should look that up, because I'm never sure. But anyways, so I'll get that on Lucy at some point in time and quilt that. And so that's done. And I think this may be a charity quilt. I don't know if it's big enough for Project Linus. It might be for a toddler, but for a toddler, it might not be appropriate.
You could name it after the square dance group that we used to belong to.
Well, what was that called?
Triangle Squares.
Oh, Triangle Squares. Oh. That's not bad. But we'll see what other people come up with. Now, another project that I've been working on is this. This is an In the Hoop applique. I'm using Australian fabrics in it. It's called Folk Art Rabbit, and it will be a table runner. There are more pieces yet. I haven't got all the pieces done. And of course, it's not stitched together, so you're just seeing 4 of the blocks on there. But I think it's going to turn out really kind of nice. And I know there's another person working on the same pattern that's in our sew group, and usually is on here. Haven't seen Ron in a while, but everybody knows Ron from out in the east coast of Canada. He's a regular subscriber. He's working on this same one as well. So I'm not sure what he's using for fabric. It'll be interesting to, when he gets his done and I get mine done, to like compare what they look like with different fabrics. So yeah, those are all the things that I've been working on. And someone will probably ask, so we'll tell them. Has Walter finished his African quilt? Well, Walter.
No, I still have 3 rows to sew onto it. I got busy cutting out for the retreat thing today. And today obviously was taken up by sewing with the retreat. So I'll make a point of trying to get the next 3 rows sewn on in the next day or so.
Yeah, we'll see. Cheryl suggested turning leaves for name of the
Well,
quilt.
that's an
That's
idea.
kind of interesting. Yeah. Um, People are loving those. Love the colors. Yeah, I love the colors of it too, Patsy. When I had two of these charm packs, and I didn't know what else I was going to do with them. I'm trying to use up some of the pre-cuts I've got because I'm pre pre-cut slut. I see pre-cuts, I love them. Then I never know what to do with them. Um,
Depends how big your lap is.
oh, I guess that's true, Barb. Uh, Yeah, Cheryl, I think the rabbits are going to be very nice. Now they are I think they're a sweet pea design. Before anybody asks where I got them, I believe that's where they are. Are the rabbits applique, did you say? Yes, they are applique, but they're applique with my embroidery machine. Um, so this it's what's referred to as in the hoop applique because you actually do it right in the hoop. So in a sense, it is like regular applique, except you don't have to do the stitching. The machine does all the satin stitching and everything and putting them down. So it's a lot of fun. We are planning, as you know, from So Chatty, when this will happen, not absolutely sure, but it will happen, we hope soon. We're planning to do a series of in-depth videos about machine embroidery. Starting with, the basics of machine embroidery, like how do you pick your thread colors, what stabilizers to use, where you get designs, how do you get your designs onto your embroidery machine, that kind of stuff. And then we're going to move our way through different projects, like basic embroidery, the kind of thing like you want to put a character or something on a pocket of a shirt, or you want to do like a monogram or something on a towel. And then we're going to, with each project, we're going to work our way through to more complicated ones. Like in the hoop applique, freestanding lace, three-dimensional projects, that kind of stuff. How you can make things that are multi-pieced, like table runners, or you can actually make a tote bag using your embroidery machine as well. So these are all things that maybe some people don't think of when they buy an embroidery machine. So we're thinking of a series of these. It's going to take us a little time to put this together because this is going to be more complicated when it comes to videoing everything. And then we might, and this is a might, because I'm still trying to think how this would work. I'd like to do maybe a day where we have a embroidery along, where people with embroidery machines, no matter what brand, we work on a project together. And, we can troubleshoot if people have problems, basically. Most embroidery machines work the same. It doesn't matter what the brand. It just might be the nuances as to which button you might push. That might be different from our machines. But we're thinking about that. It's a big undertaking, okay, to do that. But we've had so many questions about different things about machine embroidery from people over the last, year, 2 years, whatever. And we've handled it in bits and pieces, but we're thinking a more extensive series of videos about that kind of thing. So let's see who's here. Yeah, Patsy says I love machine applique. Yeah, so do I. It's one of my favorite things to do. Josie's here. Hi, Josie. And we are well. Just looking down here. Colleen says the rabbits are remarkable. Yeah, it's a really nice design. Janet loves all you guys' work. Really nice. Thank you, Janet. Heidi's here. Hi, Heidi. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant, Patsy. Cheryl says, oh, great. Oh, great on the embroidery. I watched you to learn some tips when I purchased my machine. Thank you. Okay, well, we've been doing it for a while. So, yeah. Do we know everything?
No. We know a lot of
but
stuff.
we know a lot.
But, I mean, we don't know everything.
No.
So, we're not professional.
No.
But we have used it a lot.
Yeah, we use our machines quite a bit. Cheryl says, I need some motivation to use my embroidery machines. Yeah, my machine, I use my machine at least once a week or more. Well, on a project like I just showed you with the rabbits, that's more than one day sitting down for that. That takes a while. Nadine is here. Hi, Nadine. Kathy says,
happy birthday.
Oh, and happy birthday, Nadine. 29 now for how many years? Kind of thing. Oh, we just got an ad came up. Yeah. So sorry, people, but I can't do much about the ads. Didn't see anything come up here and say that.
You could turn it off.
Mm-hmm. We had that the other day. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm not going to worry about it. Kathy says, I'm with you, Stephen, on FPP. Too fussy. Yep. Mimi makes stuff here.
I think if you're avid quilter or whatever, I have a feeling that foundation paper piecing isn't as you don't like it as much.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because I mean, for me, I didn't mind it, but once I figured out how to do it.
I find it boggles my brain. I mean, it makes me, I have to concentrate on it to make sure I get things. And this is what I meant when I said I find it tedious. In that I come away with it like I'm exhausted right now.
Like, I still don't think I would do something like a legit kit because
no, too much.
I think it's too intense.
No.
And the thing is like other people have been saying is you end up just making another. It's like a paint by number. You're making a copy of something everybody else has made.
And then that's in the case of like a legit kit, where, you know, if you buy the whole kit, you have the pattern, but they have all the fabrics are cut for you and they have chosen the colors and everything like that. Now, mind you, the legit kits are very, very complex. And if you had to go out and try to figure out all of the different fabrics you would need, because there's a lot of different ones.
Unlike
I think it'd be boggled down.
Embroidery, where you can still pick thread colors, right, yourself if the colors don't match you. If you're doing something like a frog or something like that for legit kits, you're kind of stuck with having to use the colors they suggest, because otherwise you're gonna have a real problem.
Because I mean, they're very artistic. Well, the guy who designs them is an artist, okay? I don't think he comes from a quilting background. He comes from an artistic background, like a painter or whatever. I think. I'm not absolutely clear on that, but from what I've heard Shannon say, that's what I gather. And so, you know, they're expensive, very expensive. They take a long time to do, even for an experienced paper piecer, and I would get bored. If a project takes that long to do, I will start to wander, and that's when you have the danger of it not being completed. And that bothers me because I don't like to have.
Yeah, I could see me getting started on a legit kit and then getting frustrated with it and not finishing it.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, it to each his own. If it's something that grabs you and it's something you want to do and you like it, fine. Go for it. But it's not my cup of tea. So, that's what I'll say about that. Just looking at, Denise Sewpatch 33 is here. I don't think I've ever seen you here before, Denise, so welcome. Benita's here. Nadine says 29 plus 30. Oh. Actually, Nadine, you really don't look your age. Must be the wine.
Yeah.
She's well preserved. But seriously, you don't, Nadine. You don't look that age at all. Marla is here. See, me need to wait until I win my 500E from Soya. Okay, Marla. We'll think about that. Good luck. Hope you do win it. Benita says, I saw a YouTuber showing her partially finished legit kit. She had the top accord done only, and she said she had 54 hours in it. Not for me. Yeah, it's not a fast process. Um, Julie says, are legit kits subscription only, or can you just buy one if you like the pattern? I think you can just buy it if you like the pattern. But the problem is you have to get it shipped to you. Now, it's not a problem if you're an American because they'll ship to Americans, but they've kind of and I don't want to get into it because I don't understand the whole thing, but it was some very controversial about they used to offer you could buy the PDF version and download it, and you could buy your own fabrics then for it if you wanted to. For that was great for people like for us in Canada or for people over in Australia, for example, or in Europe. But for some reason, that has been stopped from what I understand. So, and it's very, very expensive to have a kit shipped to you if you want one. So I don't know. You'd have to ask somebody this morning to know about it, like Shannon.
Okay.
What?
Okay, it says, Stephanie says, legit kits have bomb.
Oh, block of the month.
Block of the month.
But also just kits. Okay, so they have a block of the month as well. So you can get involved with that. So, I don't know. You'd have to explore it further because I'm no expert on what they're all about, and I never will be because I'm never going to have a legit kit. I will never buy one because I don't have $600 to drop. Yes. For one of their kits, that's like a large kit, and most of them are large. They have some smaller ones.
Yeah, there are some smaller ones, but they're still...
But by the time we get it in Canada and exchange rate, it's like $600 plus. I can make a couple of quilts for that kind of money. Queen size, maybe 3.
And it won't take you 50.
And it won't take me
200 hours.
Yeah, exactly. The shipping between countries is just gouging the customer. There shouldn't be so much expense. I mean, if Temu can do free shipping from Asia, yeah, I know. Of course it's a gouge. Everything's a gouge. Deb says, only done a few small FPP projects. Not my favorite thing to do either. Nope. You either love it or you hate it, I think. I don't think there's any in between. Patsy says, Stephen, are you within 100 of your 10,000 goal? Okay, let's talk about that. So, yes, I am. It's quite amazing. In the last couple of days, I've had a real influx of subscribers. Thank you, all of those of you that have done that. That's been great. Because when I last looked earlier today, I was at 9,943. So I'm 57 bodies away from hitting the 10,000 goal. So thank you. But something I'm realizing. Now, I was talking to Stephanie about this earlier today. Something new that YouTube seems to put in. When someone writes a comment, we can see the comment, of course, and who wrote it. But next to their name that they use to log into YouTube or whatever, there was a little graphic, a little yellow and red thing. So I hovered over it with my mouse, and it came up and said that how long this subscriber had been subscribed to my channel. Well, but I've never seen that before. And also it said that you will see that tag if this person has made their subscription public, which I'm not totally sure what that means. But I think that means that other people can see their comment. Guess you can keep it private so people don't see what you comment. But anyways, there looked like there was a whole lot of people who didn't have it as public, but they're subscribed. So I guess that's in the count. So I don't know. YouTube's been doing some strange things lately. Like, if you've noticed that some of your regular things that you subscribe to, you're not getting notifications for them, you might want to go to that channel and check to see if you're still subscribed to it. Because they've been kicking YouTube. This is YouTube doing it. We as users can't do this, or as creators can't do this. But YouTube's been kicking people out of their subscriptions here and there. So you need to resubscribe. So I don't know what that's all about. That's weird. So you might want to check. If there's something you haven't seen from somebody in quite a while and you're somebody you've subscribed to for, on a regular basis, go in and see if you're still subscribed to them. Because you might not be. Looking up here. So, yeah, so I'm coming to the goal. So that means now I'm within shooting distance here. I have to come up with something to celebrate 10,000 when I hit it. I don't know what that is. I have some ideas in my head, but I'm not sure what that is yet. So I will make a decision. I know it's going to involve an event. What are you laughing at?
Doesn't keep going.
No, I know it's going to involve an event of some sort, but I don't know what it is. It might involve a prize or two. I don't know what it is. So that's all I can tell you, but we'll see. Maybe you have suggestions. Yeah, and don't say I give away free embroidery machines or sewing machines. Like, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Okay, maybe when I get 1 million subscribers. Like I said, that's not going to happen. Okay, let me see. Charlotte's sister does FPP, and she does EPP. Okay, English paper piecing. I tried that once. It's hand sewing, though. Don't like that. Marla says, I'd rather do machine embroidery over FPP. Yeah, me too. Oh, thanks, Barb. Yeah, give us a thumbs up, please. That helps. That really helps. Diana says, Russ, are you Nightbot? What's your channel name? Love getting to know the Fab 5 channels. Did it come up?
No.
Yep, there it is. Russ put it up. So there it is down there. Yeah, you are in my commands, so yeah. So that worked. Wendy M says, how about a quilt off between Walter and Steven? Stephanie could pick one of her patterns. Walter and Steve use the same pattern but different fabrics. Wendy, you're evil. Yeah, see, Walter, look at the look on his face. That tells you how enthused he is with that idea. Walter doesn't like competition unless he's going to know for sure he wins. Also, he doesn't like commitment. He would actually have to do this and get it done, and that interrupts his whatever he does on a regular basis. Evelyn says, hi, Evelyn. Welcome to your first time here, Evelyn. Glad you could join us. Maureen is here. Hi, Maureen. 88 Australian dollars to ship a legit pattern. 106 on sale to Australia. Yeah, that's a lot of money in shipping. And according to some of our Aussie friends there, it takes forever to get to you as well. Cheryl says, give an award to your longest subscriber. You want to know something, Cheryl? I can't find that out. YouTube does not allow us to see our subscribers in any kind of organized way. They're not in alphabetical order. They're not on there by duration, like how long they've been here. I have no idea who my first subscriber might have been. Because you have to remember, I have been running this channel.
Yeah. Like, I know a few people that come on the quilting channel, or at Steve's quilting channel now, that used to come on regularly on our when we were talking about crafts.
Yeah, when I was a crafter.
They've been around for a long time.
Yep. But I don't know of any way to find that out.
We don't know. I mean, those are particular people that stand out in my mind. It could be that the other people have been coming on that they don't happen to be had made their presence known as much.
Yeah.
Right. So it's hard to say.
Yep, no way we can figure that out with that. Julie says, I think a collaborative quilt with Walter and Steve working blocks for a donation quilt would be a wonderful show. Yeah, probably would be. I don't think it's going to happen. And I've already stated the reasons for that. Walter will not want to be tied down to something like that, for one thing. And, to be honest, yeah, it sounds like a fun idea, but I don't want to be tied down to it either. We operate on our own separate schedules when it comes to our creative endeavors. And, yeah, nice try. Although I will be recording the day that Walter gets the African quilt done and actually puts it on Lucy. That may be 12 years into the future, but we shall see.
Well, it'll be sooner than that.
I'm working on him for that one because I think that'll be a fun video. Yeah. Of course, you know what'll happen. He'll get on the machine and go, oh, look at this. Isn't this fun? Done. And then I'll go, die, you bastard. Patsy says, wish there was some way to find out when I joined a channel. That would be interesting. There is Patsy. No, there isn't. Well, no, there's something that comes up and I don't know where it is. It says a member or YouTube and it gives you a year. I've seen that somewhere. But it just when you first went on to YouTube in general.
It says that Quilt Meets World says I'm still on Stephanie's channel.
Oh.
I thought I logged off. Guess I didn't.
Oh, what? You're still there?
I guess so.
Okay, Walter's in two places at once. Ignore that man in the screen.
I thought I logged off. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Russ says...
Stephanie will have to kick me out.
Yeah. Oh, so Russ says accusing us of double dipping. Walter's still listening. Yeah. Brenda's here. Hi, Brenda. Awesome Black Walter. Right, Russ? Okay. I said nice things about the retreat. Let's hear my real opinion, shall we? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just kidding. Okay, so what's next on the thing? Okay, some announcements. Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen Wednesday, as always, 9 a.m. Be there, be square if you can. We did our first The Sewcial review on Wednesday. That's with Shannon, Stephanie, Russ, and myself. And the next one will be February the 14th. And that one will be hosted on Stephanie's channel. It'll be at 7 p.m. February the 14th, yes, is Valentine's Day. Sorry about that, but I have a feeling that's not really going to affect a whole lot of people. You know, I mean, unless if you're under the age of 30, maybe. I don't know with that. But yeah, so that's February the 14th. That's a Wednesday, and it's at 7 p.m. that night. There'll be things up. And actually, I think Stephanie already has the upcoming, you know how you'll see an announcement for upcoming lives? I think it's already there on her channel. So you can check that out. But we won't be on there until February the 14th.
Yeah, we have a competition between you and Stephanie.
Oh, I don't want to shame Stephanie. Right. No. Yeah.
Stephanie quilts at light speed, too.
I know. She's fast. Very fast. It's not a race. Don't be that. Okay, so as we've already talked about the retreat that Stephanie and Shannon had, I imagine that Shannon and Stephanie will probably have another one in the future. Right, Stephanie? Because I think this one was very, very successful. I think there was over 50 people signed up for it. And yeah, and a lot of things could have gone wrong with that number of people, the technology and the whole bit. And I have to say, it went very smoothly, at least from my point of view. So everything worked out really well. So great organization, the whole bit. So it was great. So yeah, next time there's one, I'm going to be signing up for it. Even if Shannon does do foundation paper piecing. Yeah, whatever. Oh, on Monday, tomorrow, the final 4S Club collab video will go live at 10 a.m. on all of our channels. And when I say all of us, I mean on Stephanie's, on Shannon's, on mine, and on Sean's, the guy who sews. If you remember, you guys picked a pattern from 3 for each of us to do. Well, we've done the one you've picked, and Stephanie's, my case, we did 2 of the choices that were there as well, and we are revealing our final product. And we also talk about, we have some tips and tricks for handling these particular patterns if you're interested in doing a similar pattern or the pattern itself, and what our problems were. Actually, I didn't really talk. I just remembered now. I didn't really talk about the problem I had with the kitties, the scrappy cats. Oh yeah, maybe I did. I put tails on backwards. Did that on several occasions. Walter looked at it, and I had the blocks up, and he goes, "What's wrong with that cat?" I screwed up, but I fixed it. So yeah, that video will be posted and up for you to see tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the morning. And it'll be on all of our channels. It's the same one. So pick who you love the most and watch it there. Read my lips. Let's talk pop-up sew day. Yes, pop-up sew day this coming Saturday, January the 20th. Link is in the show notes for this today. It'll be in the show notes for everything I put out next week. And those of you on the mailing list, sometime tomorrow, you will get an email with the announcement and the link, the Zoom link in there. If you've never been to one of my pop-up sew days, it is Saturday, January the 20th. We start at 8 a.m., but you can come and go as you please. You don't have to be there right at 8 a.m. because some of you are on a different time zone than we are, so it may be way too early for you, like out in the West Coast, like Brenda out in Hawaii, for her. So, come when you can if you're interested. Leave whenever if you have to. Like I said, it's come and go. Work on whatever you want to work on. And we always have a good time. It's always fun. For Walter's fan club, Walter, where will you be on Saturday? Will you be with us?
I kind of plan to go to the sew day that my garment group has in Oshawa.
Yeah. Doesn't like us. It's going off with a bunch of dirty old garment makers. Yeah, really. So, Walter's fan club, I know you've all have a collective sigh of disappointment happening right now as we speak. But such is life. So that's this coming Saturday, the 20th, as I said. So be there, be square. Let's see, catch up on here. Diana says, Stephen, you are a prolific quilter and maker. You absolutely amaze me. You are on your own schedule. It is called light speed. Thank you, Diana. Seeing how everybody went just hog wild on the retreat when Walter showed one little stupid block. I showed mine. They went, "That's nice. Thanks." Yeah, I'm not jealous much. Thank you, Kathy. I am gorgeous. Judy says, I hope Stephanie does it again. I enjoyed it so much. Yep, I'm sure she will. Josie says, is your FPP video available to watch? Are you talking about the retreat?
Stephanie's retreat was a Zoom retreat, and there's no rebroadcast as far as I know.
No, it wasn't recorded because it was a private retreat. It was a paid retreat. Didn't cost much, $20. For us, that was about $150 Canadian. But, not really. But, yeah. Nope, she didn't record it. And Patsy says, well, drat, I have a quilting class on the 20th. Well, get out of it. Kathy Patterson says, the name I thought of was Sun Bear because the yellow made me think of the sun as well as all the points, and the pattern reminds me of the bear paw. I haven't done a lot of quilting. Yeah, actually, someone else in the comments mentioned that the pattern in that quilt of mine does look like a sort of a variation on a bear paw, and I can see that. I have never done a bear paw quilt. That's one I've always wanted to do. I actually have an Accquilt die for that. Ooh, which reminds me, I have an update on the Accquilt machine that we talked about on So Chatty, but we'll come back to that. Deb says, can I just hang out on pop-up sew day? Sewing space here is not as effective as my own space. So you can do whatever you want. If you want to bring your underwear drawer and file everything alphabetically in it, that is fine. You can. Yes, Deb. Not a problem. You can hang out as much as you want. That's fine. Oh, Mona's here. Barb said, no, Heidi. Oh, wow, it's like the Twilight Saga team. Stephen or Team Walter. Okay, just stop this. Just stop this. It isn't going to happen. I can tell you that right now. Are you trying to put us in divorce court? Because that's not going to do it.
Somebody's suggesting a shirt off.
A shirt off.
Yeah, we both make shirts.
Oh, that's unfair. That's unfair. He at least has had some experience making a quilt. Okay?
Okay.
I have absolutely no experience whatsoever making a shirt. Now, I did think it might be fun to have Walter teach me how to make a shirt, but he has the patience of, well, he doesn't have any patience. He'd be, well, that's not how you do it. And he'd be slapping me across the head and all kinds of things. And I kind of like that kind of thing. Well, never mind. Mary says, hi, everyone. Hi, Mary. Besides wind chill warnings, we are now in a water advisory. We've been searching for water in every store. Oh, that's not good.
Where are you?
Yeah, where are you, Mary? I forget. Okay, so, well, Mary's telling us about that. Yeah, we're working on new things for So Chatty and plans for the retreat, for my spring retreat. Haven't done anything on it yet, and I got to get my ass in gear with it. It's all I know is it's not going to happen until May this year, which is a little later than I usually do the spring retreat, but that's because we're going to Australia, as you know, and that kind of is in between all of that. I'm also not sure. Well, maybe you guys can tell me this. You know, you can think about this and write in comments. I have had 3 presenters for every retreat that I have run over the last 3 years or so. And they've all been great, and everybody seems to enjoy them. But to be honest with you, I have run out of people that I feel comfortable asking to be a presenter. And not so much with them, but with something that's going to be of interest to everybody. You know, I don't want the same old kind of thing. So I was thinking of seeing if there was something else I could do in place of doing that kind of thing. Or do people would rather not have any kind of presentation or something in it? They just want to sew at a retreat. I always think there should be something a little bit more special at the retreats that I run. Like I always have prizes on them, which makes it a little different from a pop-up sew day. But without some other little special kind of event in there, it's just basically a pop-up sew day with prizes. So I don't know. Maybe if you've got some thoughts about that, you can write them in a comment to me or send me an email and let me know. Because I'm still toying. I'm really kind of at my wit's end as to what I could do that's different with it. I'm just going down here. Okay, Julie, get off that. We're done with the topic. Okay, enough of it.
Besides that, I have to buy a Barbie doll.
Yeah, and a Barbie doll dress. No. You want to see me with a Barbie in my hand? I'll take a hacksaw to her and cut off her head. Yeah. Let's make a little Barbie guillotine. Like whatever. I prefer Ken anyways. Although he's not anatomically correct. There will be no competition between Walter and I. We do not exist to be in competition with each other. We aren't. That's what I'm telling you. Okay. So let's talk. Oh, guess what I have coming up at the end of the month, though? Something really exciting. I'm getting a colonoscopy. Yay! I just hope I don't go through this and come out as a semicolon. But with it. Oh, I can hardly wait.
I thought you were talking about my birthday.
I forgot all about your birthday. Oh, yeah, your birthday's what? On the 27th. Oh, January 27th is Walter's birthday. Ooh. It's 1 week from this Saturday coming. What do you want for your birthday? Besides me. Yeah, that's a hard one. It's always a pain in the butt to try and buy. What did I buy you last year? Oh, a dash cam.
Yeah, I don't want anything.
You say that now?
I didn't get you nothing for your birthday.
Did you get me anything for my birthday?
No, I don't think I did.
No, I don't think you did, you bastard.
That was right after my car accident.
That's right. Oh, that's your excuse.
I bought you a new car.
Not my car. Yeah, whatever. Did we even go out for dinner on my birthday?
I
Oh,
don't remember.
oh, that was a half-assed one.
That was later on. We went to that play, and I took you to, or did we do? Or
No,
we didn't.
we
Okay.
didn't do that. No.
Oh wow.
I took you out for your birthday. Fine. It's okay.
Your last colonoscopy.
What's that? Whose last colonoscopy?
Oh.
I'm trying to catch up here because chat's going by. I'm
Diana's...
getting my last colonoscopy on February 27th. Yeah. Oh, on Walter's birthday. No, that's not Walter's birthday. It's February that you're doing that. Your last.
Why?
Why is it your last? I mean, good for you because, you know, really, I find colonoscopy a pain in the ass. But I'm here all week. Tip your waitress.
Diana Miller says, did you get your Accquilt back?
Okay, let's
There's a
talk.
New story about
we
that.
have a new story about that. But before that, we're still on the shitty topic of colonoscopies. Patsy had a colonoscopy from hell. Had to go to the next day for a barium enema. No fun at all. Ew. Ew. Yeah, okay, Julie, whatever. We're not grandparents, so we don't care.
She says she's 73 and they don't do them after 75.
Oh, they don't. Didn't know that. Guess they figure you're a goner by then. That's always nice to know, isn't it? Really?
It's not worthwhile.
I guess not. Whatever. Yeah. Well, yeah. I've got the prescription there, this stuff, you know, that I have to take whenever, a day before or whatever to, you know, pardon the expression, but blow the shit out of yourself and everything. Like, God.
You won't be full of shit anymore.
Yeah, I guess not. I guess not. Well, I can build up some new stuff. Okay, let's talk about the Accquilt machine, okay? All right.
Okay,
so to bring everybody up to speed, if you didn't know, because we did talk a little bit about this on So Chatty, my big Accquilt Go, the electric machine.
The Go Big.
The Go Big. Go big or go home. I got it out the other day, actually, to cut fabric for Stephanie's retreat. And I pushed the on button and it didn't. It just sat there. Nothing came on. I went, ah, crap. So I figured there is a problem with this machine with the adapter plug that goes into the side for the power. The pin that the adapter plug fits over has always been, in my opinion, way too tight to the point where you got to kind of ram it in the hole. Okay, this is beginning to go downhill here. So, get the look off your face. You know, snicker. You know, you're like a 14-year-old boy.
Well, I don't know.
Like, whatever.
It's kind of like...
Well, how else would you describe it?
Well, no, actually, we looked at it, and you couldn't get it plugged in. And so we actually took it apart and looked at it. And it looked like the receiving part inside the machine was pushing away from the plug when you were trying to plug it in.
Yeah.
Right?
So basically, the way that it is attached, it isn't attached. So over time, by plugging it in and unplugging it back and forth, it'll wiggle itself loose. And then you can't get any leverage to get the plug in. Now, when I first bought this machine, this is actually my second version of this machine. Because after the first month when I got it, I had the same problem, but the pins kind of broke off inside. So I took it back to Quilting where I bought it and showed it to Zach. He's one of the owners. And I mean, I can't say too much about Quilting. You've heard me talk about them before. Excellent customer service. Zach took a look at it and he says, yeah, he said, that's, you know, you'd have to get inside the machine and maybe you can resolder it, maybe not. He said, he just gave me a brand new machine, right? So ever since then, I have been very, very careful with that plug. I leave the machine plugged in and I have it in a location where it's very easy for me to, when I need to use it, I just lift it up, put it on my cutting table, away I go, and then turn it off and put it back down beneath it. It's fine. But on occasion, the plug will come out and you have to put it back in. Well, Yeah. So off to Kawartha Quilting we went. But in the meantime, Walter got out his little screwdriver and
Yeah, so like I looked inside and I noticed that when you're trying to shove the plug in, that this receptacle where the plug goes into was pushing away from where you're plugging
from the
it
housing.
in, right? And so I just held it steady with the screwdriver and you could plug it in. And but later on, Zach came back, the guy that works at Quilter Quilting that looks after this. And basically what it shows is that the receptacle is soldered onto a circuit board and with pins in keeping it stable, right? And as you're pushing it in, if you keep pushing it in, the only thing that's holding it there are these pins soldered to
little tiny pins
to the circuit board. So any kind of resistance will eventually cause the pins to break down. In my estimation, what should be happening is that the receptacle should be attached to the inside of the machine somehow, right? So that, and then also attached to the circuit board so that it doesn't have any chance to wiggle. There isn't any give to it. And I think it's a design flaw.
Yeah. So Zach actually opened it up. Well, we took it into him. We told him what we had discovered and all of that. He opened it up and he saw just exactly what Walter's described. And he's ordered a circuit board that he thinks he can solder on an epoxy on the inside so there won't be any give to it to fix it. But you see, Zach is doing that, and he obviously knows something about electronics and that kind of stuff. I figured he might have to end up sending it to Accquilt, which is in the States, right? And who knows how long it would take for that. But he said, yeah, Accquilt will not provide replacement parts when something goes wrong with one of their machines. Accquilt has the worst customer service of any company around. They don't, once you have one of their machines, they don't give a crap about you whatsoever. And you know why that is? Because they really don't have any major competition. What they provide is a niche market, and they don't have anybody else out there that has any serious competition to them. So they treat you like shit. And you have to remember how much you spend on one of these machines. That machine is well over $800. And I have literally several $1,000s, probably close to $4,000 invested in dies for it. So we're not talking here a cheap machine. But thank God for Zach at Kawartha Quilting, because he's looking after me. And you know, that's the way to go. Now, say you bought your Accquilt from Amazon. Well, you might be able to return it to them and get another one, maybe, because Amazon takes back about everything. But if you bought one somewhere else or something like that, you would be screwed. And apparently, this is a very common problem. So Zach was going to send his findings about this to Accquilt, but doesn't sound very hopeful that they will do anything about future versions of their machine at all. So he went to another company. He found the circuit board and what he needs for this, and he put them on order. He's supposed to get them in fairly soon, and he'll look after me. In the meantime, though, I bought another Accquilt machine. What are you rolling your eyes about?
Well, no, I'm just saying, there you go. Like they end up, you got screwed on one machine, you're buying another machine.
I didn't buy the same machine.
No, I know.
I bought a manual machine. I bought the next machine down that has the Accquilt Go, which has a crank. And because I'm figuring, well, one, I don't know how long, at the time that I ordered it, and I ordered from Kawartha Quilting, and we picked it up on Friday when we were in there. I'm figuring, okay, if Zach had to send that machine back to Accquilt, it could be months, weeks, whatever, before I'd ever see it again. Not only that, but if they actually did repair it, how did they repair it? Am I going to have this problem in the future? I don't want to be without my Accquilt machine, because I do use it quite a bit. Okay. So, yeah. So I bought another one. Yes, some of you are going to say you got more money than brains then. This one didn't cost as much because it's not electric, but it was still close to $500 Canadian for it. Actually, one thing I like about it, it'll handle all of my dies that I have. They'll all fit in it. I made sure of that before I purchased it. But something I do like about it is I don't have to plug it in. I just lift it up, I open it up, and away I go. Now, I don't have arthritis in my hands. If you have arthritis or something like that, then this wouldn't be good for you. So yeah, when the other one gets fixed, I have two Accquilt machines. But my philosophy is always was, if one is good, two are better. If you can get a class set, go for it. With that kind of thing. So yeah, that's the story about the Accquilt. I see lots of people right now. Oh, Laurel's here. Julie's husband is a colon cancer survivor, so they told me he would always need them scheduled.
Yeah, I think what happens is that they'll keep giving them to you, and if you're always a perfect ass,
A perfect a-hole? Yeah.
then they'll stop after a period of time, unless you have a medical situation where you're having a problem going to the bathroom or something like that. Then they'll schedule one for you, type of thing.
Yeah.
Or if you have a chronic problem.
Russ asked me, do you have the pills or the drink? I have both.
Yeah, here you get pills and drink together.
They really clean you out. I mean, when you're finished with all of this stuff they give you, if you open your mouth, there'll be an echo because you'll be completely hollow. Everything is right out of you. Patsy says, I had a slow cooker that the inside prongs worked loose and I could not plug it in. Just threw it away. It was past its prime anyways. Yeah, but that was like a slow cooker
that probably didn't cost you
$800.
Yeah.
And if it did, they saw you coming on that one. And you want to know something, though? That does bring up the whole point about built-in obsolescence. And we've heard about that for years. They build things to fall apart. I mean, they used to give you years and years of a warranty on an appliance. Now you're lucky if you get a year. And they say that most appliances, like a fridge or a stove, have a life of about 7 years. So, they do this on purpose, and they don't have parts. You get somebody to fix it up, or to fix it, they have to get parts from a scrapped model or whatever. And a lot of them don't even want to bother. A lot of repair people, they don't even want to bother dealing with anything like that. Like we've had, how many ice makers have we had in our fridge?
Well, actually, knock wood, this is the third one that we've got.
Keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, we had the original one. We had it replaced once. And now we have another one, which I installed.
That you installed, yeah.
And so knock wood, that one's been going for a while now. So
yeah. So yeah. And there's a lot of things like that. There's no quality in it. Like, okay, here's something that'll probably get the Americans on here upset with me. You hear a lot about American-made products. We want American-made products. Well, what's the story about Honda?
Okay, I have a brand new 2023 Honda CR-V, and my particular model's been made in Ontario, Canada, and they also make them in, I can't remember where, somewhere in the United States. And the this particular Honda CR-V has been recalled several times in the United States. It's the American-made one that is recalled several times. And the Canadian one has never been recalled. And I have read I'm on a group called CRV. It's a chat group or whatever. And everybody is saying, whatever you do, don't get the American-made ones. Get the ones that are made in Canada because they for some reason their standards are different. And I don't know what's different. To my way of thinking, if a company like Honda should be overseeing their manufacturing regardless of what country it's in. And that's the same. I see a lot of people write, well, if it's made in China. But if a company is a reputable company, they should be overseeing the production of their equipment so that it's exactly the same no matter what country it's produced in.
Yeah, it's just weird on that kind of thing. So, if something says, that it's American made or Canadian made, doesn't necessarily mean it's better quality than what we get most of our products from China. It all depends on how the company stands behind their
there's
product.
lots of products that we get that are made all over the world.
Yeah.
Like right now, if you buy a GM car, it used to be GM cars a lot of times. There was a GM plant in Oshawa that was made here, or they're made in the United States. But now they're made in Korea, they're made in Mexico, they're made all over the place.
Wherever they can get cheap labor is basically where things are made, right? That's what it's all about.
Yeah, if you look at your sewing machine, you may have a Janome sewing machine, but it's usually not made in Japan anymore. It's made in some other cheap country somewhere or another.
Korea.
So long as their manufacturing standards and their parts are okay, then it shouldn't matter where they're manufactured. And in this case, this particular case that with the Go Big, it is actually a design flaw as far as I'm concerned, because the internal part is not anchored properly, right? And it doesn't matter if it's made in China or if it's made in America or if anything. So if that part is not anchored properly, it's going to break.
And I don't know how things are manufactured or what the process is for it, but it would seem to me this is a really easy design fix.
All they need to do is anchor that little plastic piece on the inside against the housing of the unit.
Yeah. So, again, it screams quality control. There isn't any. But
we don't know that with Boeing right now.
Yeah, right. Like, okay, blow out a plug out of the door that's covered up on it so you can get an extra row of seats in. Yep, suck that right out of the air. See, these things can be hazardous to your health, like a matter of life or death. And Boeing is doing nothing about it. They're not saying anything.
No, actually, they've said that that's their problem. They're looking at it.
Oh, they're admitting to it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought they might try to blame it on.
But now the FAA, which is in the government or in the U.S., have said that they're keeping a closer eye on Boeing.
Yeah, well, can you trust them? I don't know about that. Because Boeing, I'm sure, has a huge lobby.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Organization,
they were too busy checking out the Max 8 and not looking at the Max 9.
Yeah, see if you slip that one in. So backing up here, Cheryl says, guess glad I don't have an Accquilt. And Deb says, glad I just stick to rulers.
Well, mind you, the crank, so we haven't had the crank one for that long. The crank one so far,
we've only had it for 2 days.
Yeah, I know. So it depends on if that one's got a problem.
Well, who knows? But I've got a lot of money invested in Accquilt, believe me. So, I want things to work with it because I love the system. I think it is a good system. It is great for people who have trouble cutting accurately. It is great for people who might have some physical problems with their hands as well. It allows you to cut pieces efficiently. Yes, there is some fabric waste, but not that much. Really, if you're that worried about a little extra fabric waste, you're cheap. So, I'm sorry, but come on. Quilting costs money. You've got to understand that. If you don't, then you're in the wrong hobby. All hobbies cost money, Kathy says, I wasn't first, but I was around when you were doing paper crafting. Yeah, you've been with me a long time, Kathy. And Pamela says, I think the problem with fixing them is because they were manufactured in China. Well, that's what we were just talking about. I don't think it has anything to do with China. It has everything to do with what we said, quality control. With it. Patsy says, I have the old Go Baby. Don't use it very much. Well, the Go Baby is a bit limited in the size of the dies it can take. So, yeah, and given the fact that the dies are not cheap for
I
it.
mean, the Go Big, the electric one, does do a couple of dies that are only can be done on the Go Big.
Yeah.
But Steve doesn't have any of those, so
Which?
the big dies.
Yeah, I've got big dies.
I meant the big ones that won't
Oh, for
fit
the
in.
studio.
Yeah, no, for the Go Big. The Go Big has a 14-inch wide die.
Yeah.
Well, that won't work in that crank one that you've got.
Oh, no, but I don't think I have any of that size.
Yeah, I don't think you have.
No. So I'm not worried about that at the moment. Cheryl says my friends have a manual one and love it. Yeah. Well, the manual one is fine. Except if you've got arthritis or rheumatism or something in your hands, or you got a problem with your hands, then yeah. That's why they built the electric one. Basically.
Well, the same thing happened with her iPad. Sometimes, though, in the iPads, your hole is stuffed with stuff, so you have to dig that.
Yeah, you gotta
out.
clean out your hole. you get into the hole with a bent out paper clip.
Yeah,
or one of those toothy,
or a toothpick or something.
A toothpick, or one of those plastic toothpicks that has the little barbs on them.
Yeah, because
and you can pull out dust.
You have the same problem with an iPhone, in that the hole can get clogged with lint.
Yeah. So you just put that in gently, and you'll pull out. It's like pulling out a little fuzz bunny from your bobbin case on your sewing machine, and that will get in the way. You wouldn't think it would, but it does. It gets in the way of making the connection. So if you might want to try to clean out your hole.
Yeah.
We've been talking about colonoscopies. Now we're talking about cleaning out your. Yeah. Okay. There's a theme here. Carol says, does Accquilt create a lot of fabric waste around the shapes you're cutting? Yes and no. You're going to use up a little bit more fabric than if you were cutting with just a standard template or a ruler. But it's the accuracy and the number of things you can cut. It'll cut 6 layers of fabric. Actually, I've been known to cut 8. Depends on the fabric. And so that makes your life, like, it goes fast when you're cutting. I mean, if you're somebody that doesn't really, that's the part of the quilting process you don't enjoy, then yeah, the Accquilt makes short work of it. But yes, there's going to be some waste. It isn't oodles. We're not talking, meters of fabric or something like that. But if you're somebody who's really like, you want to get every little bit out of your fabric thing, then maybe you won't want to use an Accquilt with it. You cheap buggers. Benita says, just curious, why are you guys wearing wearing jackets? Is it cold in our house?
Not really. It's just that we're in the basement. It tends to be a few degrees cooler than it is upstairs.
Yeah.
And I have a short sleeve shirt on, so my arms get cold.
And actually, right now, I don't really need this on, but I've had it on all day. So usually I'm fairly warm. Actually, I haven't been. The last few years, as I've gotten older, I get colder faster. It used to be like
But the downstairs in our house tends to be a little cooler than the upstairs.
Yeah. So that's why we're wearing it. Yeah. Also, we do not keep our thermostat at boil.
No, I know. We usually have it at about 18 or 20. So it's probably about 20 right now upstairs.
Did you turn it up?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Okay, so 20.
Money bags. Just putting on that. What's that?
Okay, so we keep it at 68 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
So.
Which used to be considered well, I think years ago when we were growing up, I think the room temperature was 72. And then with, energy crisis and all those kind of things, I think it kept dropping down. I think now they consider 68 sort of room temperature. It depends. But yeah.
And since in the summertime, we often have it at 25. In the summertime, when the air conditioning we have air conditioning on, we have it at 25 Celsius. So that is...
just double it at 30.
Yeah, well, but the house is 77 degrees Fahrenheit in the summertime. So
yeah.
So it feels colder in the summertime.
Yeah, that's true. Benita says, we used my mom's old fridge from 54 for a beer and pop fridge. Still works like a charm except for defrosting. Yes, actually, my parents had their first fridge that they bought in 1957. And that fridge, until a couple of years before my father passed away, they still were using. And that wasn't their main fridge. It was like a beer pop fridge kind of a thing too. The thing was, it was a fridge that came with what they called automatic defrost, and that didn't work anymore in it. But it still, for the most part, worked. And I have a little fridge, a little bar fridge that we use. It's in our mud room. That fridge I got in 1977, in around there. I had it in my room in university, in the residence at university. It still works like a charm. Now, mind you,
It's probably not fuel efficient. But
no, it could use defrosting too. It has a little teeny freezer thing in it, you know that, and it's pretty much a block of ice. Actually, I'm kind of afraid to defrost it because I don't know if it'll start up again. But they don't make things like that anymore. You know, they could, but they don't. They don't on purpose. They want you to replace them every so many years because it makes them more money. Built-in obsolescence. Diana says, Nightbot, do you have a channel? You use our channel in your posts. Thank you for Russ's channel info. Huh? Something lost in translation on that one. I don't know what you mean, Diana. Pat says, I think Nightbot is a computer-generated entry. It is. Nightbot is something that we use that if we want to put up somebody's information, you know, their YouTube channel or whatever, Nightbot will do that for me. You notice that it comes up every so often saying to like our channel. That's automatic. I've programmed into Nightbot to do that. So that's what it is. It also does other things. You can set it up so if someone is using foul language, it'll boot them out, put them into timeout. It does different things like that. I have most of that turned off because it would be booting me out all the time for that. Mary says, when is your colonoscopy? 30th of January. Yay. Can hardly wait. Counting down the days. First of all, I have to go into the hospital for it, and I do not like hospitals. I'm sure most people don't like hospitals, but I just don't. I don't like hospitals. I don't like medical people. I don't, because all they want to do is hurt me, and I don't trust them. I've had colonoscopies before, and they've been okay, but I'm not going to be, you know, flippant about it, because this will be one time when it won't be like, okay, is it up there? Yes, get it out, kind of a thing. And they better give me a damn juice box and a cookie afterwards too. What'd they give you in your last one?
I can't remember.
Well, you were pretty much out of it when I picked you up.
I think they did give me a juice box or something.
Yeah, you were kind of sloppy actually. Yeah. They rolled you out and threw you in the car, and you're, oh, pretty colors. Yeah. Mary says, my son got me a violin for my birthday, and I used it. And it used to be made in Italy, now in China.
Yeah, well, everything is like that.
Yeah.
They manufacture things wherever it's the cheapest place to manufacture. Could be China, could be Bangladesh, could be all kinds of places. Because that's the way the world works now.
Yeah, Marilyn's got a hand crank Accquilt, and there's a few dies that don't fit it, like the 10.5-inch die. Yeah, because they're too big. Kay's going to keep her old appliances as long as possible. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like we've got appliances, Knockwood, they've been, they're almost 20 years old, I guess, now. And I mean, in some ways I wouldn't mind new appliances, but I'm afraid they're going to break down. So,
yeah. So, you know, yeah, keep them as long as you can. Marilyn says the manual one is easy to crank and I'm not very strong. Yeah, I find that. I used it when I got it home here, and yeah, it's not too bad. But again, I don't have any problems with my hands, so, you know, I don't know. Oh, Guys Craft 2 is here. Hello, guys. Kim's here too. And Selena is here. Finally get to see you live. Yep, we're breathing. Joanna is here. I picked up an Accquilt Go like new machine at an estate sale for $5, probably because of all the dies and accessories have been scooped up. It's been on the shelf for about a year. Well, for $5, you know, might be worth just investing in a few dies that you would use a lot, like, you know, like 2.5-inch half square triangles, or the strip die that, you know, for binding. That's the first die I bought. That and a gnome. Of course, I had to buy a gnome die. Oh, Jeannie's here. Hi, Jeannie.
Hi, Jeannie. Do you have an app?
Yeah. And Dan is here. Back in the day, like 10 years ago, I bought an Accquilt that uses the handle. I've had two similar machines, and the mechanism gear inside the handles both broke. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I think one of the reasons why the handle could break too is if you put too thick of fabric into them. Like it says, they recommend that you shouldn't cut more than 6 layers of fabric at a time. And I have been known to push it a bit, but yeah, I'm going to make sure I don't do that with the crank, because I could see that being a potential problem. Wild Rose is a Honda personally. I'm a Honda personally.
I probably like Hondas.
I think she likes Hondas. Steven, what is a mudroom? Ozzy here. Oh, well, that's just an expression for a little room that comes off of our garage into the house. There's a door into our garage.
Technically, it was designed as a laundry room.
Yeah.
But we don't use it as a laundry room. We use it as just a room that has a sink in it and has a little fridge and
it's got a counter, and it's got our freezer in there, and there's some cupboards in that where we keep, you know, like our canned goods and things like that. We just refer to it as a mudroom because some people who use the term mudroom, it's really a room where oftentimes you've been outside doing gardening, or you got muddy boots, and so it's a little part of your house that has an entranceway to the outside, and people can come in and kick off their boots, their coats, and everything like that. So ours technically isn't really a mudroom in that way. But that's what we call it. But that's what we call it. Yeah. Oh, Gail's here. Hi, Gail. Mimi Makes Stuff is here. You keep your house at 78 Fahrenheit in the summer?
No, 77.
Well, okay.
Yeah, that's what we keep our air conditioning at 25.
But you need to explain why we do that. Because we don't like it ice cold, but it's just enough with the air conditioning on at that to take the humidity out of the air in the house.
Yeah.
And it keeps the house at a pleasant temperature without freezing your knockers off. You know, kind of a thing. We're old. What do you expect?
We've always gotten used to that temperature. We just like it to keep the humidity out of the house. And a lot of times we end up watching TV in the basement.
Yeah.
And our basements tend to be cooler.
Cooler, yeah. Also, you know, I know that that's hard for some of you that live in the southern United States, and in the summertime, the temperatures that you get there, or people in Australia right now, the temperatures they're getting right now. But we don't usually, like, okay, 30 degrees C is considered really hot. But more than anything, we have a lot of humidity in our area. And so with the air conditioner set at that, it takes the humidity out of the air, which really is what makes you really feel hot. Also, you're using less electricity to run it because, you know, air conditioners slurp up your power with that. So that's why we do that. I am sure that an American...
Yeah, like 30 degrees here is like 86 degrees Fahrenheit. To Canadians, that's pretty hot.
That's pretty hot. I mean, I'm sure if Russ was up here and he would figure we didn't have any air conditioning at all, because I know in Atlanta what he went through with his 40 days and 40 nights.
I don't like it really cold in the house
without an air conditioner. Yeah. Yeah, it's our house. We can do what we want.
Yeah.
Julie says, my grandmother's beverage fridge was over 60 years old, never stopped working. Made to last is a thing of the past. Yep. Pat Jennings here. Hi, Pat. On the bright side, they no longer require colonoscopy after 70. Okay, we have conflict of information here. Someone said it's after 75. Now you're saying it's 70. So maybe it depends on your area. I don't know what it is here in Canada.
Well, I don't either.
I have no idea. Diana says, thanks for the Nightbot info. I was talking to a computer. Sign of the times. Nightbot did give me Russ's info. Russ did too. Okay. Yeah, it's AI. It's taking over. Joanna here is here. Thanks for the advice. I've been planning on it, but 2 more surgeries slowed me down. You know, Grumpy John is here. I have Crafter's Companion quilt shape fabric dies. Yeah, that's an English brand, I believe. There was another one called a Genie, I think, or Genesis, one of the other as well. I've heard of those too. You can actually use Accquilt dies, the smaller ones, some of them in a Big Shot, which is meant for paper crafting. But I have used one in that before as well. But only, like, they have to be the really small dies to work in that. Knackers, yeah. Russ says I'd melt up there. Yeah, you would, Russ. Yeah, Wild Rose says there's been, you know, because of supply chain issues, lots of corners were cut in car manufacturing. You know, and I'm not getting into the conversation about that, but I'm still wondering, is there been really a supply chain issue? You know, or is that, like, I think there were some issues caused by COVID, yes, but was it really as bad as all that? Or is that just an excuse to gouge us on prices? I don't believe anything anymore. I've become a conspiracy
theorist.
Yeah, I think. Okay, so now we're comparing notes about colonoscopies. I started something here. Well, anyways, yeah, so that's our time today. We are tired out. Stephanie and Shannon worked us to the bone in their retreat, but it's a nice kind of tiredness. So tune in next week for all our videos. And remember, Pop-Up Sew Day next Saturday. Information coming out in emails for the mailing list people, but the link will be in all the show notes for everything next week. And that starts at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, Saturday, January the 20th, next Saturday. Come and go as you please. And hope to see lots of you there then. And we'll talk to everybody then. So have a good week, everybody. And thanks for joining us today. And we'll see you later. Bye for now.
Yeah, bye for now.